This is Sims, and we're back with more sweet views, and we are starting, as you can tell, stage 6 of Shirabe's route. So we're gonna jump right into it. We just had an awkward sleeping situation. Fake counts make it really on. I was actually editing a part, and I had to yawn. I actually yawned at the end of it, like a couple parts ago. And it made, I was doing, and it made me actually yawn just hearing myself yawn. And I was like, fucking hey, I got problems. When I woke up the next morning, Mai and Shirabe were still asleep. Oh yeah, Mai wanted us to sleep together. You wake up, what the fuck? I've been so worried I'd be too nervous to sleep, but I've been out almost as soon as my head hit the pillow. Mai seemed to have wrapped her arms around Shirabe sometime during the night. They looked like a normal, loving family. Oh gosh, that's right. Mai said something about how this made her feel like she had a mom. I think Shirabe's wife died right after Mai was born. Does he still think about her? But when I tried to remember if he'd said anything about her, my head just felt hazy. Whoa, did I sit up too fast or something? No, my whole body feels kind of hot. Oh great, I'm sick. Hey. I started when Shirabe spoke. I didn't realize he was awake already. Oh, good morning. Is something wrong? You look red. Really? Yeah, hold on. He reached out a hand and pressed it against my forehead. Oh, it feels nice and cool. Shirabe frowned. You're burning up. What? Oh, that action yesterday must have been a bit too much for you. Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. The whole time we were looking for Mai, I'd been running on pure adrenaline. Now I was paying the price. I'm alright. I'm sure this'll go away soon. Well, don't push yourself if you don't have to. Why don't I go see if I can get an ice pack from one of the piglets? He patted me tenderly on the head, then moved to get up. But the moment he dropped his weight off of the bed and onto his feet, he groaned and bent over in pain. Are you okay? What's wrong? Is it your ankle again? Oh, we're just all broken. Yeah, it's bugging me a little. A little? He can barely stand. Let me look at it. Fine. He pulled up the leg of his pants to reveal a mottled, dark red ankle, swollen to nearly double its normal size. Oh my god! I had no idea it had gotten this bad. Yesterday's game must have been really hard on it. It's funny, she's always like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, and she's like, oh my god! That tells you how fucking bad that ankle is. You should probably stay off it. I hate to admit it, but you're probably right. I'll go get help. No, you're sick. You should stay here. But, hey, don't worry. What good's having a kid if you can't get them to run errands for you every so often? Mai, wake up. She mumbled and opened her eyes. Like, wake the fuck up and make yourself useful, child. Rude. Daddy? Mai, do you think you could go get someone? We can't really go anywhere right now. I'm sorry. I wish we could have let you sleep. It's okay. I'll be right back. Grabs giant backpack. She hopped out of bed and trotted purposefully out of the room. Yeah, after she was just kidnapped. Let's go let her go out just in case Hogstein comes back. This is bad. It's getting worse. He was frowning down at his leg. How did it get this bad? Have you just been ignoring the pain? It sounds like something's broken in there. Believe me, it wasn't this bad last night. I should have paid closer attention. And Shido's like, what the fuck were you two? This is where Shido gets the dad routine again. He gets the overprotective thing like he did with Urabe. If you fucking touch her, he's gonna be like, you were old enough to be her father. Not quite. You're still too fucking old. Like, what's wrong? Shido pushed open the door, followed by Mai. Hey, sorry to bother you, detective. Your daughter pounded on the door asking for help. My God, what happened to your ankle? It seems to have swollen up a bit over the night. Our young lady here has also come down with a fever. He's like, why the fuck are you both in the same room? In your bedclothes? You're both out of commission then? Shido sighed and shook his head. Sorry, what about the others? Are they okay? They're in Urabe's room making sure he's alright. Everyone's fine. He's like, God damn it, how are we gonna... Oh wait, we've been doing fine without you assholes. They've been doing fine without me. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you something. They acted like I was the golden child in the first couple. We need your insight, Spacey. They have done perfectly fine without my fucking help in every other fucking round. Okay, is all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Is he awake yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
So great. They're gonna go off and we'll be here. It looks like you two could use a day off today. Whoa there, pal. I might not be able to walk, but I'm not dead yet. And the old noodle's still as sharp as ever. I can... No, not happening. A man who can't even stand is just gonna slow us down. I don't care how smart he is. You need to stay here. Mirarashi's back in action now. I think we'll be able to manage today's game without you. Besides, someone needs to be here when Urabe wakes up. Might as well be you.
Okay, we'll stay.
Sorry about this. Nothing to be sorry about. We'll beat the game and be back this evening, safe and sound.
This would be the perfect situation if we didn't have a child running around the ship as well. I'm just saying, yeah, we'll both stay here. I'm perfectly fine, and his ankle hurts, but it doesn't matter. Like, we can still have some fun. What?
Nothing. Not in this situation. But if it was us and Shido, oh, yeah, but oh my. Fucking children. You're ruining Spacey shag time. She wouldn't. She's too innocent, but I'm just saying. In the real world, somebody be getting something up in here.
Shido frowned at Shirabe's ankle one last time, then turned and left the room.
Honestly, in Urabe's route, they all acted like, since I was the only lady, that I should have been spreading myself around the boat every night. Like, it's been 7 days, bitches. Chill the fuck out. You're not that hard up. But, I mean, seriously.
Do you really think they'll be able to beat today's game with just 4 people?
Yeah, we just have to trust them. They did it yesterday!
What should we do about Urabe, then? He might wake up soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Hey, Mai, you think you could go to Urabe? The guy with the long hair's room.
Why?
When he wakes up, I want you to come and get us. Do you think he can help your dad out?
Of course! I'll go over there right now!
Oh! Shirabe, that's how you get rid of the kid. Smart man! Still not into you, but I'm just saying you're winning some points for ingenuity, and I like the way you think. So bad.
Thanks, Mai.
You're welcome. The naked man's room?
I mean, good lord. She trotted out of the room again. Could you imagine being Urabe waking up and being like, who the fuck are you? Why is there a child in my room? This isn't appropriate. Especially if they didn't redress you. You just wake up in your room naked with a child in there. I mean, you're just going to start thinking that you need to be on a watch list. Shirabe and I looked at one another with slightly forced smiles. I'm so sorry about all this.
I thought we talked about that.
Yeah, I know. You chose to come help me. But I'm not really sure you knew what you were getting into when you signed on. Or what you were getting when you signed on? I don't know. And so far, I'm pretty sure I've done nothing but get you in one scrape after another. Shirabe, you said you'd stop doing that. Stop apologizing all the time. He blinked. Oh, right. So, get... What should I say instead, then? Ah, wait, I know. Shirabe grinned at me. Thank you. Very good. You're welcome. Well, you should probably try and catch a few winks. Rest is going to be the best treatment for that fever. Okay. I lay back down, closed my eyes, and was asleep almost immediately. Some indeterminate amount of time later, I gotta learn how to read. Shirabe's voice woke me up. Damn. No, that doesn't make sense either. What? I opened my eyes and saw Shirabe frowning to himself about something. My body was a lot less sluggish, and my head felt clear. When I touched my forehead, my fever felt like it was almost gone. What are you doing? Oh, did I wake you? Yeah, but it's okay. Is something wrong? Not particularly. I've just been trying to figure out these notes we got. Well, what about them? Shido gave me a call just before the game started. I guess Hogstein is going to ask them what the answer is to these when they're done. If we can get it right, the pig will turn himself in. Really? That seems way too easy, though. Well, I assume there's a catch somewhere, but it still seems like it would be a good idea to get to the bottom of the puzzle. Fortunately, I found myself with an overabundance of free time, so I thought I'd give it the old college try. Good thinking. So far, we haven't really been able to make any sense of them.
Yeah, so how are you feeling? You were right about napping. My fever seems to be just about gone. Really? Well, that's good to hear. He nodded, then looked at me for a long moment with a strange expression I couldn't quite place. This is... I guess you could say it's a little nostalgic. What? Mai's mom was kind of frail her whole life. Spent a lot of time tending to her just like this. Oh, good God, dead wife complex. I don't want to be you're gonna be like, my dead wife. Could you not? I mean, I understand something that happened and this is remote, but it's like, I feel like there's always like the dead girlfriend thing, which I have yet to play a game where that's like a huge thing, but I know it is a trope, and that just seems to be like, I would find that irritating. Let's talk about how great and wonderful she was. And you're like, look, I mean, I get it. This is Mai's mom. This is different. But like, if you're that hung up on her, you are not ready to move on. There's a fine line between like, you're able to talk about someone that you loved that died, and it's like understandable you loved that person. It's not going to change just because they died. And then the like, you're completely fucking obsessed with this person, and could you stop? I don't think he's I think he's still on the right side of the line, but it's still like, oh good lord. But it concerns me is what it is. It's like are you going to constantly be comparing me to your dead wife? Because that's weird. That's weird. That's a little much. But like, oh, this kind of reminds me of that. Oh, okay. Understandable. You're okay. I'm just saying I'm a little bit concerned at how far it's going to go, but just, yeah. Oh, does he still miss her? I mean, I'm sure. Shodabe, do you still miss your wife? The moment I said it, I knew it was none of my business, but my curiosity had gotten the better of me. Shodabe looked at me for a moment, then leaned back. Well, I'll never forget her. That's a given. And I cared about her very much. Of course you did. You married her and had a child with her. Of course. So of course I regret that she's not here. But I suppose you could say I don't miss her anymore. She's gone, but I'm still here. I can't spend my life wishing for something that'll never happen. Okay, see, this is the rational thing. This is the okay version. He's like, I'm sad that she's gone, and that's terrible, but I loved her, and it doesn't change that I loved her. But she is gone, and I need to move on with my life, and I'm not going to pine away for her forever. Good. Okay, good. Because usually what you're going to get is the like, oh, if you were her, I guess you're okay. Like, okay, could you just stop talking about how great she was? I mean, it's okay to, like, you gotta say that to your daughter, but, like, I always feel like there's, like, that, again, like I said, that line of, like, oh, she's so wonderful and I miss her so terribly, and you're like, so, I'm just a hole for you to fuck while you think about your dead wife? What the fuck is that all about? You know what I mean? This is the rational adult version of, like the actual, like, yes, I'm sad that she is gone, but I've decided I'm going to move on with my life and not pine over this person forever. But if she was still here, I'd totally be, like, I wouldn't be trying to date you, Cool. Understandable. Get it. Fine with that. It's not an easy balance to reach, but you have to learn to cherish the past at the same time you let go of it. He is a smart man. Not my favorite love interest, but not bad. He's very mature, I guess? I don't know. Well, I mean, that's because he's fucking old. But anyway. Yeah, I agree. Compared to us. I mean, I don't really have any experience with that kind of thing, but it sounds like the right decision. I hope that he was talking about the bus crash as well as his wife. Finding the truth about that crash is obviously really important to him, but I hope someday he can figure out how to walk away from that obsession. Shirabe seemed to have decided the conversation was over and turned back to the notes. Oh, we didn't get the one in the hospital, but Shido gave me all the others. There were 4 scraps of paper on the table. Let me see. Sun, Kings... Huh. They said Sun, 07, K1, and 07 slash... So it's a date and a day. Like, because, like, Sunday, 7/7, like 7/07, right? Because the 07 with the line would be like a date. You're writing 07/07 slash, you know what I mean? But obviously not the year, but the K1. Or those could be the numbers for the bus. But Sunday, Sun seems to be like Sunday. I totally forgot we were getting scraps of paper.
Because he was talking about the little notes. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm like, were they in the treasure chests? Like, is that what they're talking? And then I was like trying to remember. I'm like, did we get one in the first part? I don't even remember because we never mentioned them after any other game that we won. I don't remember them mentioning them. They mentioned it after the first one, I think, because I remember Sunday now that we're looking at it, I think. But, yeah. No, it's talking about Sunday. I think it's a date. The first one we got was Sun, which is probably talking about the sun. And the rest, though, I can't make heads or tails of them. I mean, for fuck's sake, you're supposed to be smart. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just saying that's the first thing you would come to. Sunday, a date, maybe. I don't know what the K1 is, but I've been reordering them to see if that jogs anything, but no luck. Mind if I give it a shot? Please be my guest. Pretty much tapped out at this point anyway. Thanks. I stared at the notes and thought hard about what they can mean. Let's start with sun. It could mean sun, but can we be sure? Wait, something felt off. What's wrong? Oh, I think... Why are we so sure that it's talking about the sun anyway, right? We found a note on the first day after we beat Samurai Fantasy VII. The announcement told us we beat the game and the floorboards opened up to show a treasure chest. When we opened it, Mitarashi said something about the sun. We didn't have time to talk about it though because Mitarashi was hurt. The other notes are just meaningless letters and numbers and stuff. If they don't mean something beyond that, I don't know what it is. But this particular one, there's something about it. I just can't put my finger on what. Hurt Mitarashi. No, it's the something behind. I just clicked, random ones. I think that sun isn't talking about the sun. What do you mean? Well, Mitarashi mentioned the sun, and I think it just got stuck in all of our heads. Mitarashi, huh? That should have been our first warning sign. Well, he read it and said, you know what I mean? It says sun, so logically, but... so if it's not talking about the sun, then what could... Wait. Did you think of something? Oh my god. None of us ever thought to question what Mitarashi assumed. But what if sun is an abbreviation for Sunday? Oh my god! Genius! If that's the case, and then we could switch them around, like this. He mumbled to himself and shuffled the notes around. 7/07 Sunday K1. Ha! Of course! It all makes sense. I think you might need to elaborate. In this order, they're clearly referring to the bus crash. What? The accident happened on July 7th, the 7th day of the 7th month. And if I remember correctly, that was a Sunday. Let's just pull out a fucking calendar and figure it out. So, what about K1, numbers of the bus? That... He tapped his head and frowned for a few moments, or a road, or wherever it took place. Ha! Right! That, little lady, is the route number for the bus. Kaneda K1. Well. Oh my gosh. Damn. Can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. I got thrown off by sun, and that put me way off track. Amateur mistake. Really, I saw them and figured it was a date, and I didn't know what the K1 was, but figured it had something to do with the bus. The number of the bus, but it's the bus route. Whatever. But there's no doubt now that every one of us is connected to the crash somehow. I'm sure Hogstein picked us for a reason. But what about Wakasa and Mayoshi then? Maybe they're lying, or maybe they don't honestly know they're connected. In either case, we just need to dig a little deeper. Well, Mayoshi maybe forgot. Because he did remember in his route, but maybe when he's like, I don't know anything about that, and then the more he's thinking about it, he's like, wait a minute, He was a little kid, right? 12 years ago. And he's supposed to be 17, 18, so he was 5 or 6, so. But if all that's true, then who the hell is the person calling himself Count Hogstein? And what on earth did he bring us all here for? Shirabe frowned and closed his eyes deep in thought. Oh, it's from Uncle Keiji. Quietly, so as not to disturb Shirabe, I flipped open my phone. I'm glad you've got a good friend you can rely on. But you can't go to him for everything. Only ask for his help when you really need it, and make sure he's able to rely on you too. Watching out for each other is what friends do, right? Good luck. I'm rooting for you. I want a fortune cookie that opens up and says, "Good luck. I'm rooting for you." Like that's what we need in fortune cookies. I want my fortune cookies to be less about like all work and no play, like Jack a dull boy. Like, okay, stop being weird. I mean, unless it was giving me random movie quotes, that'd be kind of funny. Like movie cookie. I'm gonna start making fortune cookies. That's it. That's my new venture where I'm just going to put random, like, on Wednesdays we wear pink, like random fucking movie lines in there. But I'm also going to have a line of them where we put, I'm rooting for you. You can do the thing. I believe in you. And like little, like, you know, self-esteem boosts. You're awesome. I like the cut of your jib. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need cookies like that, so. They're more like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway. Right. Of course. Of course. I can't depend on him all the time. I want to help out if I can. The door burst open and Mai rushed in.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, you guys!
Did something happen?
He woke up. He's awake.
Ha! Is that so? Thanks for telling us, Mai.
You're welcome.
All right, I guess we should head over there. Shirabe tried to stand up, but the moment he put weight on his leg, I saw him grimace and lean over to prop his body up with the bed. Here, you can lean on me. Thanks. I bent down and he wrapped an arm around my shoulder. It wasn't exactly graceful, but at least he was able to walk. Ready? Yeah. I nodded and we set off toward Urabe's room with Mai leading the way. It's really weird because, like, the guide is saying create a save point, but there's no reason why. Just save point. Why? Like, why? Why are you telling me to create a save point? I don't know. Anyway. When we arrived, Urabe was sitting up in bed with a depressed look on his face, still holding his crystal ball. Are you hurt? No, I'm quite alright. I feel as though I've slept for days. It's not too far from the truth. You were unconscious when they got you yesterday around noon. So long. I'm glad you're awake now, though. Thank you. I must ask, where are the others? They went off to play today's game. I got this bum leg and the lady here's had a fever, so we stuck around to hold down the fort. Urabe's eyes widened. Will you be alright? Yeah, don't worry. This isn't anything I can't handle. He's like, I wasn't talking to you. My fever's almost completely gone, too. Oh, thank goodness. How goes the game, then? So far, we've beaten everything he's thrown at us. But I have to ask, can you tell us everything you know? And this explains why we also get Urabe back, because then he can explain everything that we learned in his path. You know. So technically, you could literally just play this, learn everything about the game, this route, and be done. And then just play the others for funsies. If you were really like, I want to know what the mystery is now! What are you hiding? Trying to figure out how I can't get. What's wrong with you? Oh, we haven't gotten to do that in this route yet. Oh, we get to do it a little bit later in this path. Okay, good. Well, I meant in this chapter. We didn't get to do it in the last one either. I'm disappointed. We get to do it a little bit later. It's cool. Yes, of course. I owe you that. And more. Urabe bowed his head. Do you know about the bus accident in Kaneda City 12 years ago? Urabe's face stiffened. Well, yes, I do. As he spoke, I saw a tear run down his cheek. What? Why is he crying? It was no accident. It was my father's hand at work. What? In fact, it was that very event that eventually drove me to assist Count Hogstein in this endeavor. I wasn't sure what sort of answer I'd expected, but it certainly hadn't been that. Really, I totally expected that, because we went down his route, so. And keep going. I know there's more. What you know might be the key to finally ending this ridiculous game. Urabe nodded, took a moment to compose himself, and began to speak. My father is the president of a major construction firm. It is a major firm because he has no compunctions about taking whatever measures are necessary. Whatever measures. Unfortunately for him, however, all wrongdoing eventually comes to light, and in time a reporter caught wind of the truth. That must have been Mirorashi's father. My father needed this reporter silenced, and so he conspired to kill him and make his death appear to be an accident. No! I overheard him giving the order, and then a few days later, the journalist was dead along with so many others.
whose only crime had been choosing to ride the bus. He shivered and saw that he was crying now. I mean, so we don't put two and two together, but like, I mean, seriously, he is probably the reason that, well, his father is the reason that our parents are dead. It's not like it's Urabe's fault, but I'm just saying. Your old man orchestrated that crash? Yes. So how did you end up working with the pig? After I understood what my father had done, I began to loathe myself. Everything in my life had been bought with my father's bloody fortune. But I was in no position to leave, so even though it made me ill, I remained. It began to take a toll on my sanity. That was when I met a man via the internet who referred to himself as M2. M2? Shirabe frowned. From what I remembered, it had been someone called M2 who'd convinced him to come to the park. M2 understood me better than anyone, and when he suggested I take up fortune-telling, I threw myself into it. In time, M2 became my best and only friend. You kind of feel bad for Urabe there. You're like, you poor thing, but also you're crazy, and no. And then one day, he asked for my help. Help with what? My father's company was heavily invested in a theme park. He intended to blow it up. I was blind with adoration for M2 and hate for my father. Of course I agreed, unconditionally. And the park, of course, was this one. My father is among the hostages. And now you know all that I do. Shirabe dropped his head into his hands. I never thought, damn, you're really his son. But now I know the truth. I was right. It was never an accident. Your father killed my friend to shut him up. Shirabe's hands had tightened into white-knuckled fists. How? He's holding onto his crystal ball? Finally, after 12 years. Now Shirabe's like, I have no purpose in my life now. I'm truly sorry. Urabe lowered his own head and tears dropped into his lap. It's not your fault. You don't need to apologize. Yes, I do. He's my father, and his money raised me. How am I not responsible? Because that is the dumbest fucking logic ever. And I have betrayed all of you. You're responsible for kind of luring everyone here and almost killing us. I get that. And kind of helping with this. But you're not responsible for what your dad did. I should have died when the hospital exploded. Shirabe smacks him. You idiot. He did hit him. Good. Shirabe reached out and batted the side of Urabe's head. He froze and stared wide-eyed at the older man. Don't talk about dying like that. Your father was clearly a bastard of the highest order, but you're not him. Whatever he did has nothing to do with you. Yeah, and you saved us, remember? But Listen to me, Urabe. You mean a lot to us. All of us. I do? Yeah, you made the right choice back at the hospital. That's all that matters. He leaned forward and wrapped his arms around Urabe. Wow, Shirabe just loves to hug. He's a hugger. Oh my god, I just blinked, almost popped my contact out well. It looked like something in him finally broke, and he started to sob openly. Okay, when we're not in his route, you're like, aww. Oh, he's kind of sweet. Damaged, seriously fucking damaged and kind of fucked up. But it's like, aww. When you're in his path, you're like, no, too crazy. Outside of his path, you're like, oh, pats him on head. You crazy weirdo. Like, I don't hate him when we're not in his route. I don't, but before I knew it, I was crying too. Oh, Urabe, I don't know how you lived with that for so long. He must have felt lonely even when he was with us. After all, he couldn't tell any of us who he really was or why he was here. But Shirabe had been able to accept him for who he was. Maybe now Urabe's life would be a little less horrible. Oh god, we just adopted him, didn't we? Fuck. I am so sorry. After a few more minutes of crying, Urabe finally pulled himself up and wiped his eyes. He still looked pale and shaken, but it seemed like a huge weight had been lifted off his shoulders. Now, I don't want to hear another apology, how do you got it? I'm looking forward to working together as a team again. Yes, of course. He nodded vigorously. Good. That's the attitude I'm looking for. Shirabe rubbed a hand across his chin. Now, Urabe, is M2 Hogstein? Yes. Then who is he? Urabe only shook his head. I am afraid I know no more than you do. I only ever spoke to him over the internet. And there's nothing I know about him that might give us a clue as to his true identity. He's like that girl that got catfished.
Yeah, he totally looks exactly like Tom Hiddleston. It's weird, right? But it's totally him. It's not photos of Tom Hiddleston that he slightly edited to make him look like it's him. Like, uh, is that so?
I'm sorry. I wish that I could be of more help.
Hey, no apologies, remember? Pretty sure whoever's playing Hogstein went to a lot of trouble to keep his true identity hidden. Not for me. He ran into me on a bus. Then Shirabe's cell phone rang. It looks like it's Shido. Are they done already? He turned on the speakerphone so we could hear the conversation. Hello? I'm here. What's going on? We just beat the game. We're about to go answer Hogstein's question. Huh. Good work. Did you figure anything out? Yeah, about that.
Stop! Halt! Anyone who wasn't in today's game doesn't get to participate!
We could hear Hogstein shouting from the other end of the line. Damn it. He's right. Can't be helped. We'll just have to handle it on our own. Okay. I should tell you, though. Turns out Wakasa and Mayoshi are connected to the crash. I can give you the details later. Okay, so we know Mayoshi, but I don't remember Wakasa. I really don't. Interesting. Alright, talk to you later. Did he say that Wakasa and Mayoshi are tied to the crash too? Yeah, there's no doubt now that the reason Hogstein brought us here is that crash. And given that, the pig himself must be related to one of the victims somehow. I'm still guessing the driver because they made the driver look like a douchehole, and they probably fucked up benefits or something. Like, you think about it, right? Like, oh, he caused the crash. Well, it's kind of like you have life insurance. If you commit suicide, a lot of life insurances are like, nope, go fuck yourself. He committed suicide, you get no money. But if it was death for some other reason, or like, you know what I mean? They don't cover certain things. So if he had any kind of benefits or anything like that, I mean, I don't know how it works in Japan, but like, or like maybe because he's a bus driver, it's a governmental job or something, state job, whatever, city job. Oh, you get certain benefit. Oh, but he was crazy and he caused the bus crash, so we can't give out the benefit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what the rules are or anything, but I could have fucked up the lives of his family because they blamed him for it when it wasn't his fault. So that would be my logical conclusion. Because him just being like, I'm going to hold everyone responsible because my mom died on the crash. That's crazy. It's not everyone else's fault. I mean, everyone else lost someone on the bus crash too. You know what I mean? But Urabe's father caused the crash. Shirabe's article kind of ruined it and made everybody look crazy and kind of probably ruined it and made his dad look worse. If his dad was a bus driver, or he was related to the bus driver, right? Mayoshi kind of saw what happened but didn't say anything, and then it was too late. Shido's dad didn't didn't actually solve the case. Although it's not really Shido's dad's fault, but he was the one on the case, so he basically would be the one, he's the lead investigator, and he didn't solve it, so you'd be pissed at him. I volunteered, and I don't know about Wakasa, like, why the fuck would you hold him responsible, but anyway. What? How do you know that? He chose this park, a project Urabe's father had invested heavily in for his little game. Believe me, I know irrational hatred when I see it, and Hogstein's full of it. It makes sense. I know why my friend died, so I got what I came here for. But I don't think we're done yet. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna root out who Hogstein really is. And then I'm gonna round up everyone connected to that crash and bring the truth out into the light. I could hear the determination in his words. That's what Hogstein wants. Sorry, Urabe. His tone was apologetic. What? Why are you apologizing to me? When I write about this, I'm going to expose all the horrible stuff your old man's done. You needn't apologize for that, and that's what must be done. Indeed, I hope that you do so. Do not worry about me. Pursue the truth, and perhaps it will bring some good to those who were harmed. Thanks. I appreciate it. He nodded and turned toward the door, but the moment he put weight on the bad leg, he grimaced and bent over. Where are you going? I'm going to confront Hogstein with what I know. I want to get this story straight from the pig's mouth. Wait! Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll come with you. Hold on. I'll come with you. What he was trying to do was dangerous. I couldn't just let him go alone. Thanks for the thought, little lady, but it's too dangerous. You need to stay here. No, I can't. Come on. I took a step toward him. You can't even walk right now, can you? Just take me with you. I promise I won't get in the way or anything. No, you don't belong here. I can't put you in danger. This is my problem. This is all of our problem, dumb fuck. What did he mean I didn't belong? Oh. Yeah! How can he say that after all that we've gone through together? After all the stuff Shirabe told me about himself, I can't see this as just somebody else's problem. Listening, insisting to go alone is just... What's wrong with you? You're gonna miss this so much when we're done with this game. Whoa, sorry. Did you already forget all the stuff we did together when we were looking for Mai? And after all that stuff you told me about your past, I can't just turn my back on you and pretend it's not my problem. I felt tears start to squeeze out of my eyes as I spoke. Hey, He sighed and then gently put his hand on my shoulders. You are reckless and incorrigible. I'm just worried about you. I tried to blink away the tears and looked up into his eyes. No, I mean, you're throwing a temper tantrum, but it's kind of fun. He frowned back and wrinkled his brow, but finally gave in. It's kind of funny because it looks bad. Like, that's your first... You're throwing a temper tantrum. Actually, no. You are getting pissed off at somebody being an ass, like a dumbass. Like, you are being stupid. You cannot do this alone. But it's just because she's getting mad and then she cries. But it's like, but that's what happens. Like, it's okay to cry, but it's like so funny that it's just ingrained in your brain to be like, crying is bad. That like, she's getting mad at him and then crying like she's having a temper fit. But she's not. She's not. And I'm just mad at myself for that's the first thought that pops up is like, oh my God, throwing a temper tantrum. No, she is not. It's okay to have emotions and it's okay. It's okay to be angry and be like, stop being stupid. Like, what's wrong with you? And then being like, why won't you let me help you? And then being a little overly emotional and crying a little because you can, I mean, I cry all the time. It doesn't mean I'm throwing a temper tantrum. Sometimes I do. It's okay to throw a temper tantrum once in a while. By yourself when you're at home and you're like, okay, I'm fine. Sometimes you just need to break down. Okay. Good. It's not really a temper tantrum. It's literally just like explosive emotions, I guess. Well, I mean, whatever. But it's not a bad thing. Not always a bad thing. In some situations, it's bad. But what she is doing is perfectly fine. Just mad at myself that that's the first thing I think. Because that's what we're told to think. Oh, showing emotions is, whatever. No. It's totally fine. And she has every right to get pissed at him and then cry a little because she cares and he's being stupid. So that would make you cry because you're like, why are you not listening? Why do you want to just go off and do something dangerous? And that hurts you. And also, what's wrong with you? Because stop being stupid. It's a lot of emotions. That's all I'm saying. He frowned back and wrinkled his brow, but finally gave in. All right, let's go. Are you sure? The truth is I need your help. So yeah, I am. I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you, though. Perhaps I should also... Shirabe shook his head. No, you need to stay here. But... You need to rest. Tomorrow's the last day. If you're going to help us out, put this thing to bed, you'll need all your strength. Very well, I understand. Last but not least, he turned to Mai. Mai, I need you to be a good girl and stay here with him, okay? Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll be right here.
That's my girl. We'll be back before you know it. He smiled and rubbed her head. Goodbye, Mai.
Good luck.
All right, now we just need to figure out how to get to him. I may be of assistance on that score. I can tell you how to enter Castle Hogstein. What? And there's a secret switch, and the location of which I am privy to. It took only a few seconds for him to explain. Sounds like the hotel is docked. Yeah, let's go. We nodded to each other and headed out of the room. But we're not going to run into our friends and know what the hell those people... I want to know how Wakasa's related. This is the one we're supposed to get all the answers, but... As we walked down off the ship, we saw the others coming back from finishing the game. Hey, guys! I waved and called out, and everyone looked over at me. What are you doing out here? Shirabe and I hobbled over toward them. I could see everyone's eyes on Shirabe's ankle. Are you okay, Shirabe? I'm fine. Had worse. Tell me about the game. What happened after our phone call? Shido shook his head. We couldn't figure out the answer. Really, Shido? You're supposed to be smarter than that. I have faith in you. I mean, you knew they weren't going to figure it out because Hogstein wouldn't turn himself in and be like, oh, it's over. Oh, okay, we have a whole other chapter to go, right? But, I told you the other part earlier. We found out we are all connected to the crash. He turned and looked significantly at Wakasa and Mayoshi. Midorashi's mom saved me. Oh my god! Did he tell us that? When he was... I don't remember him telling us that, but it's like, oh, yeah, because Midorashi said my mom died protecting a kid, right? I was really, really young, though, and I don't remember any of it. I never managed to come forward, but I actually witnessed the crash. I see. It's obvious now that the crash is the reason for all of this, but how? And why would you hold Toa responsible? He was the little baby Toa, and he was being protected, so you're gonna hold him responsible because he happened to be on the bus and live? Like, the poor kid was traumatized. He could have died. Are you mad because he lived and your dad didn't or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not his fault. He's totally innocent. Everyone else kind of I can understand. Like, although with Midorashi's parents, why? They were just on the bus and it was a reporter. But, okay, technically, he was going to release a story. He's the reason that the bus got into the accident, if you think about it. Indirectly. It's not like, but Urabe's father was out to kill him, and if he hadn't been on the bus, then this wouldn't have happened. So I guess you could kind of blame him and pull that. It's stupid, and you're like, that's a douche leap of logic, but I can see where you get that if you're that crazy. And I can understand being pissed at Urabe's father and Urabe himself. I can understand being pissed at Shirabe because his story kind of fucked things up, even though it wasn't really his story. And Shido blaming him because his dad didn't get to the truth, and Mayoshi because he didn't tell the truth. But, like, what the fuck? Why are you pissed at Toa? That 4-year-old fucker survived. What the fuck? Rude! I mean... Good. Useful stuff. Yes. I should tell you, Urabe woke up. Oh yeah? How's he doing? He's not at 100% yet, but he seems fine. Mai's with him right now. Oh man, I'm glad he's okay. Did you talk to him? Did I ever? He had a lot to tell me. As quickly as we could, Shirabe and I went over everything we'd learned from Urabe. Everyone was surprised, but none of them seemed to be angry with him, because it's not his fault. I was worried you'd all hate him or something. Oh, of course not. He's one of us. Shido, just every single time he opens his mouth, you're like, I fucking love you, you son of a bitch. Is it... I feel like anyone else could say that, and it would just be like, oh, our friends are nice. But it's like, God damn it, Shido. I love you. Like, what the fuck? Damn right. He feels bad about what happened. And after all the stuff his dad did, he's practically a victim too, right? Although I do love Midarashi too. But not as a love interest, but... he's probably my second favorite character in this. I'm just glad he's okay. Yeah. In just a few days, we'd become friends. I could feel happy tears in my eyes. Shinabe smiled. He was worried too. I think he'd be happy to hear you guys say that. That won't make him happy enough to cry. Yeah! Good to hear. Alright. Have we covered everything? Actually, when we beat today's game, we got another note. Oh, let me see it. We both looked at the note. On it were 2 letters. M2. M2, huh? Unfortunately, that still wasn't enough for us to figure out the riddle. Well, M2 is obviously referring to Hogstein. Given the content of the other notes, I'm pretty sure the answer is his real identity. You know who he is? No, unfortunately. I haven't figured that out yet. Maybe we're missing the answer because we don't have the note from the hospital. Perhaps. We all fell silent for a few moments before Shirabe started to talk again. We're gonna go confront Hogstein directly. What? I have to know the truth. I need to know who Hogstein is and why he did all this. I'm gonna hit him with everything we know, see if he cracks. And there's a chance we might not be back before tomorrow's game starts. I'm hoping you'll let us go. He looked across the assembled faces. They're all like, let's all fucking go. Shido's like, fuck that, we're all going. Sorry, we both have to go, but please. There was a short silence. Sorry, we both have to go, but please. That's how I should have read that. Sure, go on. Get to the bottom of all this. His voice sounded cheerful. He's like, fuck, we beat it without you assholes before, and now we got Urabe. It's great. Mitarashi. What he said. Shido, for fuck's sake! You've been chasing this for 12 years. Now you finally got your chance. My god, Shido is like the most noble, wonderful fucking person in the world. I mean, Mitarashi was like, go do it! And you're like, you don't get to decide then. Shido's like, do it. You've been chasing the star your whole life. And you're like, my god, you're great. I'm not gonna try and keep you from that. We can handle the game. Oh, Shido's like, we can fucking handle it. I'm smart as shit, but I couldn't figure out the riddle. like, Shido, I had such faith in you, but you couldn't figure out the riddle, and now I'm like, I mean... Oh, then again, I figured it out. So, I was like, sun could be like Sunday? Maybe it's not talking about the actual sun. Oh my god, it's a date! Duh. Idiots. like, all of them are stupid. I'm smart. Thanks. I guess I'll see you when I see you then. He looked at them again, smiled, and nodded. They all returned the gesture. Spacey, take care of him, all right? Will do. All right then, little lady. Let's get a move on. Just as we were about to walk off, though, Shido stopped us. Take this. I wish she had been like, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a dangerous-looking pistol, as opposed to a safe-looking one. Wait, this isn't strictly legal, but you're going into the lion's den. If you think you need to, don't be afraid to use it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Didn't he give it to Wakasa too? And you're like, fucking A. Or Wakasa stole it. Like, the one person who should not have a gun in this game. He tucked the gun into his back pocket. Right, let's go. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I thought we'd maybe get to chapter 7 in this part, but unless it's only a few minutes, we might end up having a long, like another part and then a really super short part with our ending. I don't know. Castle Hogstein towered above us in the night, the harsh lights that illuminated it casting sharp-edged shadows. And this is the final battle. His voice was calm and hard. That was such a Shido voice right there. I'm sure you'll win. We're this close to the truth. He smiled at me. Listen, I'm real grateful for everything you've done for me. Why are you bringing this up now? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to find Mai when she went missing, and I'd never have gotten this close to the truth. Oh, come on, that's not true. I know there hasn't been much of it, but I've really enjoyed spending time with you and Mai. He was staring off into the distance, and it made me nervous. Oh god, are you going to adopt me as a child? That's so much better than trying to make me your stepmom, or like your daughter's mom. Like, stop that. You're talking like you're about to die. It's bad luck to do stuff like that. I tried to keep my voice cheerful, but he turned to look at me with a crooked smile. Is that so? Of course. Besides, there's nothing saying we can't all hang out together again. Really? A look of surprise spread across his face. I never thought of that. We're all like, we've been in this together. We're going to do a yearly reunion. Where's our reunion special? Where's Sweet Fuse 2, the reunion? Sweet Fuse 2, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, I suddenly realized I'd just been assuming he would want to. When the truth was, I had no idea. I mean, we don't have to. Well, only if you want to. I could feel my face turning red, but Shirabe just grinned. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Huh? There aren't a lot of ladies out there who can keep up with my craziness. And honestly, I've never seen Mai this attached to anyone other than her grandma. I meant all of us as a group. I guess she meant the three of us. Okay. Oh, what I'm getting at is I think we make a pretty good team. Shirabe... Oh, God. Yeah, I basically just got forced into this. Does that mean... He sighed. But I feel like I'm a little too... well, aged, you know? Well-aged. Well-aged. Yeah, well... His tone said it was a joke, but then he shook his head. The age gap. I like it. It doesn't matter. It does, though. It does. That doesn't matter. It was the truth, even if I've been a little afraid to say it. I mean, okay, technically, age doesn't really matter to an extent. There is a time when it's like, no, it matters. This is one of those, it's a little fucking weird. I mean, we're technically an adult. Let's just pretend if normal 18-year-olds, a lot of 18-year-olds are in college. Okay, you're not in high school. It's weird when you say she's in high school, but she could be like college age student, you know? Like she's going to graduate soon, right? It is a little weird that a man that's like probably 30 is dating an 18-year-old. It is weird. It's weird. But again, if she were like 23, 24 and he was like 35, you'd be like, okay, that's a little bit weird when you think of the age difference. And like when you were in college, she was in middle school and that's fucking crazy. Or when you were investigating the bus crash, she was sick. That's weird. But when you're early 20s and someone is early 30s, it's not as bad as 18 and 30. Like, again, the older you get, the less an age difference makes a difference. Like a 10-year age difference when you're 25 and 35 seems weird, but when you're 30 and 50, it's not as big of a deal. And that's a 20-year age difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just bizarre. But it's how it works. Anyway. And again, it's weird. Like, you could be 16 and your boyfriend could be 19, and that sounds weird. You're like, the fuck? But it's a 3-year fucking age difference. It's 3 years. 20 and 23. Oh, no big deal. 16 and 19. The fuck are you touching my daughter for, you statutory rapist? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems creepier. I don't know. It's just the way it works. Anyway. Wait. Oh, God, we're gonna make out. Ugh, it's weird. You're serious. I nodded. It's not nice to make fun of people. I'm not making fun of you. I shook my head. I got daddy issues because I never had one because he died in that bus accident, but I wasn't aware of it. And my uncle is totally cool with me dating a murderer and somebody who was in jail, so I'm sure he's not going to mind dating someone that's basically almost his age. Weird as it is. I mean, love is love, and you can't help who you love, but it's still a little weird. Anyway, I'm really not... I honestly like you. Oh, I'm really not. I honestly like you. God, I can't read. I wanted him to see me as more than just a friend. Something more special. I'm glad she said friend and not kid. If he could just understand that somehow. I looked up into his face and it seemed like he did understand. I do like that she takes the initiative a lot of times to kiss people. I see. He rubbed the back of his head bashfully. Yeah, well, there it is. Then I realized, oh geez, I haven't even really asked him how he feels. And he hadn't really said anything. What if I'd gotten everything wrong? Oh, this is where we kiss, isn't it? I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask. I shouldn't have said anything. No, it's fine. Huh? You didn't need to ask. Suddenly, I felt his arms around me. Oh, God. Oh! I was too surprised. I'm sorry. The super romantically, like, wedding type music in the background right now. It is like, holy shit. It just kicked up and I was like, whoa. I was too surprised to think of anything to say, but Shirabe filled the silence. Honestly, when I met you, I thought you were just another kid. I mean, but I've realized I couldn't have been more wrong. Over the last couple days, you've been there to help over and over again. This is an awkward situation to fall in love in. I'm just saying, like, this is like, oh my God, we're so stressed out and we know nothing about each other. And the few days we've been here has been under a lot of stress and that can make you do crazy things. There's me thinking with logic. Anyway, yeah, you surprised me with insights I never would have thought of. And you always stick to your guns. Truth is, you're pretty charming. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Me? Charming? Yeah. I just didn't realize that. No, I think maybe I did, but I pretended not to. Well, no point sugarcoating it. You're pretty young. But I can't beat around the bush any longer. I like you. If you want, I'd like to keep liking you for a long time. I mean, me too, but with you. He smiled. Really? Are you sure you want an old man like me? I nodded. Thanks, Spacey. Shirabe. Hey, I think we're on a first-name basis at this point. Okay, Ayumu. I like Shirabe better. It rolls off the tongue nicer. Oh god, is this where we kiss? Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually a decent kiss CG. Because he's, like, taller than her, and it's kind of cute, and I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. Like, some of the other, like, for how weird I feel about their age difference, it's like, this is actually kind of cute, and I don't. I feel weird about the age difference, but the route actually wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He's not my favorite, but he's not bad. Solid middle of the pack. Solid middle. He looked deep into my eyes, and then gently, softly, we kissed. I tasted the faintest hint of chocolate. I mean, that's a plus of him always eating candy. It always tastes like chocolate. You're like, could you start eating dark chocolate, though? Anyway, let's go. Oh, we still got business to attend to. I nodded back. We stood up straight, squared our backs, and walked toward the castle. Urabe told us there was a secret button, right? Yeah, he said it was off to the side and pretty well hidden. All right, let's split up and see if we can find it. With both of us working together, it didn't take long to find. We pressed it and the door began to creak open. Our path to Hogstein is finally open. Ready, Spacey? Yep. I don't think we'll get to the end of this chapter unless it's literally 2 minutes. We stepped through the door and were met by the solemn atmosphere of the audience chamber, unless he puts us in a trap again. We hadn't been there since the first day, but I remembered what had happened then all too well. Hogstein! He was sitting on the throne as if he'd never moved. We're finally here.
Yes, so late at night. Whatever could have brought you here? Oink. Oink.
He feigned an expression of exaggerated surprise. There's something I'd like to ask you.
Well now, I wonder what could be so important that you would force your way into my castle with no appointment whatsoever.
Ayumu shrugged. Yeah, it's pretty important. Your stupid game is a big part of it. He cleared his throat and began. Everyone here, except for Spacey, of course, has some kind of connection to the bus crash in Kaneda 12 years ago. You chose each of us very carefully, Hogstein. Urabe told me that the crash wasn't an accident. His father had set it up. You took advantage of Urabe's conflicted emotions to pull him into your orbit and used him as part of your game. Admittedly, I don't have the facts to back this up yet, but I'm betting that whoever's under that mask of yours was a victim of the crash too. Urabe's father has invested heavily in this park, and you're planning to get revenge on him by blowing it up. Am I wrong? Even though, again, Uncle Keiji did nothing. Unless maybe he did. But I mean, he's just an innocent like, this is he's in there in the cage like, but it's my theme park! I still don't like the logic of it makes me angry. That's why I want to punch Hogstein. Hogstein said nothing, so Ayumu barged ahead. Those notes you gave us were hints pointing to the crash. July 7th, Sunday, the route number of the bus, and of course, M2. The note we're missing as the last piece of the puzzle, but I know what it all adds up to. Your identity. Come on, we're so close. There was a long moment of silence, and then Hogstein began to shake with laughter.
Oink, oink, oink. Well done, Ayumu Shirabe. Well done.
Oh, what's so funny?
I suspected that you'd be the only one of the jokers who might come close to the truth, but I didn't guess you'd come this close. I think you've really been the X Factor here, Spacey. You really shook things up.
Me?
Yes! Shirabe might have had all the cards, but you built the hands. The two of you working together exceeded my expectations.
Oh, I'm sorry if you're disappointed, but face facts. Face facts, big boy. You made a mistake.
So, you've shown me how much you know, but I haven't heard a question. What is it you want from me?
I want to know the truth. I know what really happened in that crash now, but I don't know anything about you. You act pretty cavalier, but putting on this whole production can't have been easy. Why go to all the trouble? I mean, seriously, where did he get the unlimited funds to fucking fund this? Just saying. If revenge is what you're after, it would have been much simpler to just deal with Urabe's father directly. The rest of us are connected to the crash, sure, but what's the reason for putting us through all of this? Then again, after what I did to those poor families,
I guess I can see why you might hate me. Silence fell over the room. It was odd to hear Hogstein, usually so talkative, suddenly quiet. What is he thinking?
So, you want to know about me? I understand. Very well. I'll tell you.
What? There's no way it's that easy. But that was what he'd said.
I'm a magnanimous fellow, after all. If you really wish to know, then please go right ahead.
Oink, oink, oink. He tossed something down towards us. The treasure box. Oh, the trap is going to happen again. So, I mean, we're at time, but there's no good place to stop. A treasure chest. It looked just like the one that had held the other notes. We walked slowly toward the chest. Ayumu picked it up off the floor and opened it. Another note. Is Hogstein's identity written on it? He pulled the note out of the treasure chest and unfolded it. It said... Oh, it's the same... Wrong. I knew it. Ah! What? With a tremendous clang, a giant cage dropped from the ceiling. In an instant, we were trapped. What the hell is this, Hogstein?
Just what it says on the note.
You picked the wrong one! Oink, oink, oink! Hey, let us out! But he didn't respond, and several piglets appeared out of nowhere to cover the cage with a black cloth. Okay, good. Damn it! We can't see anything through this! Urgh. I suddenly felt very sleepy. What's going on? Spacey, are you okay? My body was sluggish, and I could feel my consciousness beginning to fade, so it's the same situation, so this is going to be the end. Ayumu. That was all I managed to say before reality disappeared completely. Okay, we can skip this. Oh, whoops. All right, so, anyway, oh, crap, I should have just stopped there, but anyway. I am going to wrap this part up here. So yeah, I don't want you to read ahead because don't cheat. But anyway, I will see you guys next time and we will finish and get our ending. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.